This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. Deutsche Welle reported on November 9 regarding a new coronavirus vaccine. German Health Minister Jens Spahn said the European Union will wait to approve the vaccine until late-stage safety data is collected to ensure the broadest possible acceptance for the vaccine. So we see Spahn is talking for and speaking for the EU. At the same time, the push for mandatory vaccination is ongoing. Now, both Angela Merkel and also Jens Spahn have promised that there wouldn't be any mandatory vaccination against the coronavirus in Germany. But the German parliament is debating right now a change in the law regarding infectious diseases, which proposes the exact opposite, especially for tourists wanting to enter the country. And of course, there is already mandatory vaccinations of children and teens for many diseases, including measles and others. According to Focus, dated November 11, German Health Minister Jens Spahn is proposing that Google gives articles from his health ministry preference to articles from the press. This proposal has been criticized by the media as a unique and unparalleled attack on and discrimination of the free press. And it has been observed that Spahn keeps trying to gain more and more power for himself wherever he can do so. Bild Online reported on November 12th that the two most popular German politicians are Angela Merkel with 74%, followed by Jens Spahn by 65%. The mass tabloid also informed about the proposed new health law, which would give Spahn unique powers so that he would become in the words of that tabloid, Corona Chancellor. As sole rulers, they said, he would be able to reign without consent by the different German state premiers or mayors. And then on November 18, the German parliament approved a revision of the infection protection law, which was also then signed by the German president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier. This law, which has been highly propagated by Jens Spahn, has been widely compared to the Enabling Act of 1933 and the signing of the law by German Reichspräsident Paul von Hindenburg. That law paved the way for Adolf Hitler's dictatorship. At the same time, Hindenburg appointed Hitler as Chancellor or Chancellor. And so the Deutsche Welle article had this to say on November 18. Today's infection protection law does indeed transfer some legislative power from the parliament to the executive, the government. It will now create a legal basis for the government to restrict some fundamental rights enshrined in the German constitution in its attempt to fight the pandemic. In fact, a comparison to the Weimar Republic, Germany's first democracy that lasted from 1919 to 1933, could be drawn. In 1923, Germany was facing a currency crisis, hyperinflation with severe economic and social repercussions. The Reichstag then passed the enabling law, making it possible for the government to take financial, economic, and social measures it considered necessary. And 10 years later, it became a precedent for the Enabling Act the Nazis pushed through, the article said. Now, one must indeed be blind or willfully ignorant not to see the parallels between what's happening in Germany right now and what was happening in Nazi Germany in the 30s. According to Die Tagesschau, dated November 18, the new law supersedes the German Constitution and permits the government to restrict or abandon personal liberties and freedoms, including a mandate to wear masks or practice social distancing, travel restrictions, prohibitions to leave the home, contact limitations, closure of shops and businesses, prohibitions of assemblies and of church services, just to name a few. These prohibitions and mandates can be unilaterally enacted by the government, Jens Spahn, for 4 weeks, and then can be extended for quote-unquote reasons, which have to be then explained to the German parliament. The Local wrote on November 18, in the parliamentary debate, Jens Spahn defended the coronavirus restrictions and asked for further trust in government crisis management. The parliamentary director of the AfD faction, Bernd Baumann, said, today's bill is an authorization of the government the likes of which has not been seen since historical times. The AfD was not the only parliamentary party that spoke against the reformed law, with members of the Free Democrats, the Greens, and the Left Party also speaking out, but of course they didn't have the majority, couldn't stop it. And so the German government didn't respond very kindly to such criticism and such comparisons. Breitbart wrote on November 18, German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas reacted sharply to the accusation from some protesters, because lots of protests are going on right now in Germany, that the measures were akin to the 1933 Enabling Act, which allowed the Nazis to enact laws without parliamentary approval. Everyone naturally has a right to criticize the measures. Our democracy thrives through the exchange of different opinions, he wrote on Twitter. But whoever relativizes or trivializes the Holocaust has learned nothing from our history, he said, except nobody did that. Nobody talked about a parallel to the Holocaust. Now it appears to us that it is Mr. Maas who tries to relativize or trivialize troublesome developments happening right now in Germany. So where is Germany heading? We have prepared a free booklet, Germany in Prophecy. You might want to read it because it tells you from the pages of the Bible what is going to happen and what is going to happen very soon, and why all of this indicates that the end of this present age is upon us. So we will stay tuned. We will tell you, staying watch, what is going to happen and why is it going to happen and how biblical prophecy is being fulfilled in front of your very eyes, if you have eyes to see. Thank you very much for listening. This is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.